Hello and welcome to That British Homestead. My name's Nick and today, well, we're going to do some sowing, so let's get started. So here we've got some just normal compost. I'm making like little dimply holes in it. And I've got it in this like a little bit bigger module tray on the basis I've pre-sprouted them, and I'll show you what I mean by that. Okay. So we're going to start off with these lupins. So if I just take these out, what I've done is a week ago, I went ahead and I put them in this kitchen roll that's very, very damp. If there's somewhere clean to put it down, I don't think there is. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to be taking any of these very delicately that have sprouted. I'm going to go ahead and pop them into the holes that I've made, as you can see. And this really helps because you get a better germination rate. So any of them that have produced that beautiful taproot, I'm going to delicately put them into the hole, which will kind of guarantee that we get beautiful lupins. Now, lupins are actually quite difficult to germinate, apparently. So that's why I've gone ahead and done it this way. But the more I use this method in comparison to just popping seeds into soil, I have noticed the benefits of it. The germination rate, particularly, is increasing tenfold. Which means that we're able to grow more in less space, because if you've got to double them up, then you get less space. And if they don't germinate, you end up using more space than necessary. And also, if you end up doubling up the seeds and you get two grown, you've got to thin them out, which kind of gets rid of the seeds, doesn't it? These are perennial plants, so these are like invest once and get tons back, which I quite like. There we go. So any that are like still up above the soil, I'm just going to sprinkle some of this drop soil on top, as you can see. And then the next one, I'm going to do literally the same thing. So dimple deep, dimple, dimple. I think this is how I'm going to start all my seeds next year. There we go. Now, there are some that have just started to sprout, as you can see. They're going to go in as well. Some of them are just not quite there. They're thinking about it though. And this one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this onto a fresh piece of kitchen towel that is moist and put it back into the jar, like so. It smells incredibly yeasty, so I'm assuming that that needs to be changed. So I'm going to go ahead and just close those up. We get the very good water in a moment. And always label everything unless you forget. Or can't, I was going to say, or you can't find your pen. So these are lupins and they're mixed coloured. They're going to look absolutely outstanding. Okay, so this is the next one. This is a Chinese cabbage. And as you can see, ta-da, they have sprouted as well, which is awesome. So I'm just going to lay them along there. And what I'm going to do is the exact same as before. I'm just going to gently pull them, make a little hole, and tuck them in. So these have been in about a week in that tissue paper, which has allowed them to sprout. I've actually had an awful time with Chinese cabbages. I don't know why, they just wouldn't sprout in the soil, which is very strange, I know. So I find like this method's quite decent for ensuring that you have germination on Chinese cabbages. and I really want some fermented kimchi this year, so it's really important that we have like a decent amount of them. I'm also using bigger pots because I want them to like be a good size before I go ahead and plant them out, so that they are able to withstand the weather shifting and stuff like that. And they're also really sensitive to the frosts, so I need them to be like a good size before the frost comes, which is in a little while, but it means that they have a really good head start and can sit on the black plastic and not be like killed by it, which would be terrible. These are really sticking on here. We have absolutely tons of these, which will be so nice. Like morph together. So just down to the first knuckle. Doesn't matter if a little bit of paper goes in with them because it's just going to biodegrade. Oh my days, this worked so well. You can see that I was like, right, this never worked. I'm going to put hundreds in. But this has worked out really well. Now I know that for next time, it won't be an issue, will it? So that one's done. I don't think I've got... No, I don't have anything in that one. So all of those are planted. That one's planted. I might go and get some more of these bigger module trays just in a moment. I feel so accomplished. It's only what? Just turned 6 o'clock. This is the best thing I've been done all day. I've been up for about an hour and a half. That's why I love being a morning person, because I feel so accomplished. Doesn't really matter what I do now. I've done my bit. Okay, so I was actually given these kohlrabi, and the person that's done it is like multi-sewn them. So I'm just going to wiggle them like you do a necklace. Kind of like like washing your hair as well, I guess. So you wash your hair like this. And what we're doing is we're kind of just removing them. These ones here are all white carrot kohlrabi, and I've just repotted a load of red kohlrabi. So you see there's like root development there. So I'm just going to go ahead and very gently pull them apart, get as many roots on them as possible. It's okay if we don't have all of them, as we've got absolutely tons. So what I'm going to do is take one of these smaller pots and go ahead, push down the substrate, put a bit of the old stuff in, and then literally systematically plonk them in. And that's what we're going to be doing, which is very exciting, I know. So there's a fly who's just trying to attack me. So this is the time of year that everyone kind of trades little seedlings, and I got given these, and I gave her some butternut squash because I had too many of them. So it's quite nice to have that sort of relationship down the allotment where you can actually have a load of people supporting each other. And I think that is the biggest difference between perhaps home growing and growing at allotment. There's always a load of people to share things with and have things shared with you, which is great. I honestly don't know what I'm going to do with all of these kohlrabi. I might sow some of them like, I'll put all of them on, obviously, but I'll probably give some of them back to the person or to another person, and we'll all be very rich when it comes to kohlrabi. I also really want to can some coleslaw this year, so this could be one of the ingredients in that coleslaw that I will be going ahead and doing this year, which is very exciting. Ooh, so this compost, the compost this year hasn't been that amazing. I've had a bit of a difficulty sowing my seedlings in this compost, so I think next year what I'm going to do is I'm going to go 100% into the, what was it called, super organic, because I had such good results on that. And I'm not going to use this just normal stuff that you get from a supermarket, because I'm just not getting the results that I really want. And as I move through the years, I kind of want to get more and more independent with my food making. So it was not going to work out if all of the seeds, like the most of the seeds that I'm sowing, aren't germinating. Yeah. So these will kind of like perk up a little bit once that's all sort of done and watered. I'm probably, as soon as they kind of fill these little pots, I'm going to go ahead and plant them out at the allotment. I do have a bed ready for them. There's a little red one in here, so I'm very interested to see. I'm like, that is a red kohlrabi, it's just in the wrong batch, I'm guessing. It happens. So there he goes. Oh, I'm getting it everywhere, look. Mm.